Mart, Splat Zones. Will we have 8?
Drum roll, please.
I see one side has all of them. Come on. Fingers crossed. Got 4.
Hey! All right, we got a match.
Oh, we swapped out Splatoon, so it was the Switch. We can confirm that it was the Switch that did not like it, so we are in it now. And it is the end zap already.
And there they go. Good.
Oh, I'm just so happy that we actually get to play now. All right.
Oh, nice direct right there. Slash machine. It looks like they're just going to hold control here.
Very impressive and oppressive. I couldn't decide which word I wanted to say right there, but you know, you said earlier that you love this map because there are a lot of angles to come in from. What would you say is the key to playing defense on this map if it's so easy to come back in?
I would say it's absolutely holding their block, the right section right there by zone, because it's the highest point in the middle of the map, giving you the most options, and it's easier to watch where they're coming from because you have high ground and you can see everything.
I do, though, however, love how they had 2 people set up on that uninkable block there, because as they came up the middle, it allowed them an easy flank, which got them, I would say, 2 or 3 easy kills there that they are continuing to ride forward, and that is going to be a take back on the zone.
Yeah. And, looks like blue team lost all their specials here, so yellow should have an easy time getting back theirs.
Yeah, this is that true lockout phase. We talk all the time about how there is a lockout phase. I mean, you see one actually already went down here. We'll see. Oh, looks like
they traded end zaps, so and 6 bubbles coming in. This is their comp in action, and
oh, yeah, that's gonna take 2 zones with that. 6 bubbles plus a splashdown.
Nothing is stopping that.
No, absolutely nothing is gonna stop that. I don't know about that baller being used there. That's not gonna gain them anything. I would have liked to see a jump out. I was talking earlier with Gamble about composure, and walk the audience through what composure looks like for a top-level player.
Hot matches, it's keeping your head together and keeping your call-outs perfected so that you're 100% focused on the match, nothing's distracting you, and you're relaying all the correct info to your team.
And I think it's a matter of patience, too, right? I see really good players and really good teams know, you see right there, 25. That is not exactly 25 seconds. It's knowing how much time you truly do have and understanding that taking that zone is what's most important in that situation.
Absolutely, because even though you might have 25 points, you really need to get it or start your push by that 5th point at least, because you know it takes a bit to get the zone. And looks like Shelly, is going to take the win here. Those bubbles,
the bubbles. That's a situation where you look at the compositions and you kind of just nod your head a little bit. You're like double bubble on top of a splashdown, on top of an end zap for just that base support level. That one works on pretty much all levels. I think it checks the box. You can take a look right there. 6 total bubbles being put out by that team.
I mean, that comp is absolutely perfect. I love seeing that because it pairs so well. And they got so much paint control from all those weapons because all those bubbles are also insane painters.
They are. A good balance from back to front there. Clam Blitz Black Belly Skate Park. I like this a lot. Of all of the Clam Blitz maps, I think this one is perhaps one of my favorite to watch because it's one of the few maps that I feel like, so okay, tell me if you like my theory here. I think that there are 3 general categories of Clam Blitz maps. There is your one side to the other very quick types. There is your mid types where you can kind of play a couple different ways. And then there's the map is very long, so let's set up and jump style maps. So I'd say those are the 3 categories. I think Clam Blitz Black Belly Skate Park is a mid map. I don't think you have to set up jumps, but I think you have the room to set it up if you'd like to, because it's very easy to find a back alley flank way that you can sneak a jump to.
I would absolutely agree with that. Clam's Black Belly's maybe not my favorite, but in terms of competitive viability, I think it's definitely one of the best. And especially with the recent changes to the stage, it's a lot harder to spawn lock.
Yeah, can we take a moment to appreciate that the tweaks are being made to these stages? The developers listen to us, Marsh. They listen.
Shout out to our boy Nogami.
Our boy. Neither one of us can say that, Marsh.
I mean,
thank you seriously though to the dev team for listening and making these changes, even well after it has come out, not just leaving it there, instead making the changes to make this game truly competitively viable even over a year after it's come out.
It's a big upgrade from Splatoon 1 because back in that game, only one stage got a revision, and that was Urchin Underpass.
Yeah.
And I believe the only reason they revised it was for Rainmaker. So it wasn't even like a real competitive revision, where with Black Belly, for example, prior to the patch, it was a nightmare. It was, if you got stuck in your spawn, blasters and dualies just sat below the ledge and you couldn't escape because you couldn't go right, and going left was a death trap. So it was not fun. But now you have way more options to get out of spawn, which significantly prevents the horrible spawn locking. You can see right there on the right, allows more access out of spawn. So
I love it. We'll see here how these teams opt to take it. So we see a sploosh coming out. This is not a meme. Meanwhile, on the other side, a double baller composition. So once again, we're seeing Shelya go with what I would say kind of, I would say a stronger composition just looking at it, right? That's double baller. It's bubble here. Yeah, I mean, it's, I think that they have a very defined game plan. They want to build their specials and use those to take the tide.
Oh yeah, there's, unfortunately, two splashdowns doesn't look so good, even with one bubble.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, unless they pull the greatest bamboozle of all time and they get like 2 people that they think are jumping in with power claims that actually jump in with splashdown and, you know, get a nice triple out of it. But I don't know, to their credit here, this is going to be a lot of mobility for the Tentamissile Farmers team. That is 2 curling bombs as well. Both those weapons have the same kit.
Yeah, I would also say that this is probably the best match for those weapons, being so close quarters. None of the midsection was changed in the update. So stuff like splooshes and rollers do still have some kind of purpose here. Oh, see, that's a good baller right there. Got the points, although it doesn't look like they're going to do much else. All right, well.
Oh, this is clever. That's going to give the protection. I think one of those missed.
Splashdown, though, instantly destroying everything.
Yeah, that was a great splashdown there by Fletchling. I actually thought that was going to be a much bigger opening than it ended up being. I thought that jumping in with those bubbles was going to take out 2 or 3 of them, but really it only took out 1. And 68, really not a big push. I think that if your opening push doesn't get past 60, I think that it's actually kind of a bad push. I don't think 68 is good.
I would argue it's better for your opponent then, because they just get a free plan, and they probably already have one at that point, so they can just run it in like this.
Wow, Fletchling!
Oh, and gets the trade. Excellent play. And they got the lead. Not a good lead, though.
Credit to Somberling there on Splatoon, actually coming back behind. There was a little bit of a flank there that stopped that power claim. That power claim had an easy pass, if not here for Somberling on the name Splatoon. But that's a lead, and we said earlier how easy it is to take it back, but now both sides have a power claim waiting for them. I think both teams are going to try to set up a jump, and we have both Baller and Bubbles on the menu to do just that.
However, they got their splashdown ready to counter, so there it goes.
And there it goes.
Yeah, this heavy might be able to get it. Oh, Baller coming in though, that's going to free jump, and
yeah, no, that's an opening. The last is going to be that Baller that goes pretty much nowhere for them. So again, that's a second time they're going to get the lead. But look, 24 clams here. They did just toss a couple of them down. 27. If Fletchling can get a pick here. Oh, it doesn't look like a pick. Fletchling could have opened that up, but the jump is in if they want to do this.
They played it safe, though. I think that was the right call there. Hang back and get into the splashdown. My bet is they're going to have bubbles to counter. Interesting play.
Interesting. The last one, though, is going to be... Okay, let's see.
Here it is. Oh, unlucky.
Sly, can you clutch that hard? Not able to. 1 versus 3 is not going to go. Dog Joke going to go in there and add that second one. Finally, a pretty solid opening as Dog continues to just stay alive. I'm not sure that I like Synapse going in there. I think that maybe should have gone for the middle there. They didn't have a ton of control in mid, even as that push was going on. But it looks like they were able to get Fletchling back over, who runs into a 1v2. And again, this is still a really close game. Look at that, 29, almost 30 clams coming back the other way already.
Yeah, just one lucky Baller push here could spell easy lead for maybe even the win.
Well, and they have both of their bubbles up right now, and a Baller already heading in.
Although they didn't really capitalize off the Baller. Oh, here we go. Oh, this though.
Wow. Dog Joke MVP this game. That is twice the Dog Joke has shut down that entire push almost single-handedly. And that one had all the makings to not only get a score, but lose the lead.
Maybe even get them the win if they held out long enough.
Yeah, it's possible.
So, looks like Purple or Shell, need to find some kind of maybe a baller play here or something.
Yeah, they have the tools for it, and you
That
see
that trade right there was important because they lost one of their ballers, and in the last bit of the game, you need your ballers. They at least have one, or soon anyway.
yeah, they'll have a second one here fairly soon as long as Ryuichi's able to stay alive. And here it goes in. The wall, the preemptive wall. I love good wall play.
That might have just won up the game right there.
Yeah, because that baller ended up getting used for nothing.
Ooh, great bomb right there.
Synapse breaking those. Sly not going to be able to get through it. That was their last clam, too.
No. I think that's going to be it, though. Unless, yeah, there it is.
Wow.
I did it.
Achu, can you sneak through? Time's running out. You only got a couple seconds. And we have a 1-1. We're going to game 4, baby.
Woo!
Great response there from the Tentamissile Farmers Market. We didn't think that they really had the tools in that composition to make it happen. They proved us wrong.
Oh, yeah. I'm very impressed with them. That was, you know, as much of a meme as Sploosh is, they did it.
Hey, players make plays, baby.
Fair. All right, so next, guys, help! 9's scaring me.
Have you seen these?
I have not. Oh,
It says,
that's
a very Merry Squidsmas to you. The happiest of all holidays.
maybe
I
our-
added that last part.
All right, so next up, we're gonna be going Rainmaker on Ink Blot.
Well, take it away. I feel like this is one of the easier Rainmaker maps to understand, but I will take it from the Rainmaker master himself.
The Rainmaker Ink Blot is hands down the most linear approach of all.
Yep.
I think it's probably the most linear approach. All you can do is go forward and go across their plat and straight to the goal. There isn't any other reasonable option. You do have the option of going up high, but it's just a waste of time and points. It's not really worth it.
So let's break this down into a little nuance. Do you wait until you have a 1 or 2 down situation before you make the assault on plat? Or what is it you look for? Because if you meet the opponent on even, like, let's say you both have 2 specials or 3 specials, or you're both 3, 4 up, whatever it may be, I feel like the defender should win almost every time because you know which way the Rainmaker is coming from, and you can generally react to what the opponent's doing. So what situation and scenario do you look for to make that push?
Usually, it's after we get 1 down, because generally I'm holding the Rainmaker.
Sure.
So I would be firing my shots up in the plat to cause a mess, while there's at least one other area of effect special going off. So that would be like a cloud, a bomb rush, bubble, something going on up there that causes pressure. And with Rainmaker shots, it's going to do a lot of damage real fast, and that lets the offense players get in real easy. Even if they have, say, 2 or 3 up, you're not going to fight all that. It's just a bad time, and you're probably going to die. So they have to give it up, and that lets the offense get in there and clean things up.
Let's see if they opt to take the Sage Rainmaker carrier himself, Marsh's advice. 1-1. This has some pretty big implications here as we get back into it. Anything from these comps that you're seeing so far? The
I
Blob
see a
Blobber.
blob.
I love Blob
Ooh.
Blobber on this map. And it looks like they're also going to be running a Splattershot Junior to build up some of those quick and easy armors.
Foil Squeezer, though, with a Jet Squelcher. Interesting choices.
That's a pretty passive composition, I would say.
Yeah, they do have 2 bubbles, though, with the roller. Oh, Sploosh, let's go. 2, and then the Blob cleans it up. The Blob here is going to be important because they are quite good at popping Rainmaker Sword. And their Cloud does that area of effect special they need.
I mean, I just think that this is an ideal map for this weapon, right? You talked about making a mess earlier with the Rainmaker. The main weapon itself does it, as we see a little diving around that now weakened, but still pretty strong Stingray.
Ray, when used with teammates, is still a force to be reckoned with. But Blob, this stage is such a good map for Blob. You can hit their plats, hit their plats super easily and defend yours so well because the way the Blob works using the height to down to Blob style.
Pretty good stall here of the Rainmaker. It's actually going to allow him to get another Stingray, so that was a great jump out, actually. Oh, they still, I don't even know. Yeah, you have to use it here, but I was about to say that counter ray is going to meet you is able to do the job there, and it looks like now maybe finally Fletchling will be able to crash in and at least clear some up. The last one is going to be this junior who's up here. Out goes that jump, and a successful defense. 38, a scary push, but I feel like that could have been a lot worse.
Oh yeah, they took the high route, which I do think was the right call there. There wasn't really much other option. It still wasn't good. Getting up to that ramp at all is enough for these flops. Those bubbles, questionable placement, it's kind of not doing anything. However, they got 3 specials up on Tentamissile, so hopefully we'll see some action here.
It did slow down the advancement of Shell, yeah, to get back to the middle at least. They kind of had to respect the fact that the bubbles could be popped very quickly. So in that respect, I kind of understand it, but as you see here, they weren't really able to build off of it at all. We get more bubbles, although I guess you can keep throwing them out if you build them that fast.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's going to take all of mid.
How to cap zone 1-on-1.
Oh.
And that jet, nice double. That was pretty good.
That was really good, and that last one's trapped in the middle there. That's going to be what's effectively a 3 down forced by that one ink jet.
And there's an armor. This is going to be a good... Oh, that bomb.
It's always the ones you don't see.
Wow,
Wow, I would not have put my money on that one.
Oh, swimming into the rain. Can they get this?
Fletchling, you are a bold, bold player.
The wall
Perhaps
kill.
a bit too bold.
That is unfortunate.
How it goes, and now Sombra again on this Bloblobber is going to be able to push up to this position up here. This is such a difficult spot to move them from if they're able to get set up, but the support did go down, and that's going to force the Bloblobber away. The Bloblobber does need a little bit of help if it's going to make its plays happen.
Yeah, and Tentamissile still has their... They have bubbles ready, flash down to pop those bubbles, and Raid to keep things up. So they have a good... No, I say that. They had a pretty good option to push in.
I did not know if there was enough ink left in that roller to make that happen. I feel like having the Rainmaker up there at the top and then using their Ray in that point kind of made 2 weapons doing about the same general thing. I think that really halted any chance of progression they had because the roller was up there as well. So, I mean, it really is important right now for this Splatoon roller to stay alive because we talked earlier about it being a more passive composition. If those two, if either one of them is gone, that's essentially half of their pushing power gone. I know it's only 1 member, but it is half their pushes.
Absolutely, and that weapons, they're not the best, so you really need them up, and they need to do work.
Now, if they can get double bubble up onto the plat, they will be in business. The problem is they have not been in that position because they haven't really been able to take any real turf. And Raichu dancing around are going to get a pick there by Midori. So getting the punishment there and maybe even getting a double here, but the Sploosh not able to reach far enough.
Oh, nice. That was an important kill right there because they now do not have a rate for the endgame.
But again, going down just a little early. Their frontliners are getting way too segmented. They're getting pushed away from the rest of the team. And like you said earlier, those are not weapons that can do it on their own. They need a little support. That's why they're generally not considered top-tier weapons, especially as frontliners. But Shell, yeah, executed their game plan well. Got that early lead and then just very solid defensive play afterwards.
I think their comp was pretty good for that purpose, so they did their job.
15 and 5. That is a mighty fine Bloblobber line right there.
Always like to see a good blob because they're kind of a rare sight to see these days.
Bloblobber. Yeah, they are a little, you know, I'm not really sure, like, they didn't get a nerf. They just kind of fell out of favor.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a shame to see, really.
They are certainly one of the most unique weapons in the game.
They are. I mean, if not, what else would it be?
That's a good point.
I mean, I think it has to be the Bloblobber, but as we move on now just a little bit further, I think this has certainly been the most back-and-forth set that I have seen. But Tentamissile farmers have proven, I guess, maybe not proven, but they have certainly told us that they are going to be sticking with the weapons that they like. This is now the 2nd game in a row that they have brought in their roller and their sploosh. That's definitely not a map thing. And as we move here into tower control Muscle Forge, I actually think that the Roller's a good pick here. I think this is one of, if not Roller's best overall map to play on. Vanilla Roller, let me clarify here. I think that Curling Bomb's very strong here, so I think they could make those weapon choices work, but we need to see whether it be the Jet player or Fletchling, who is on that foil squeezer. One of them has to go a more active midliner, maybe a blaster.
I can't remember who was playing on the sloshing machine earlier. Sorry, forgot. If it was them, then if they bring that out on this map, I think that'll be pretty good for them. Gives them a nice midline aggressive. And Fizzy's, whew.
Fizzy's real good.
I believe they're actually getting nerfed next patch with painting.
Yeah, it's probably been
it's
been a long time coming.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, we have seen that Tentamissile Farmers Market, they are capable of making their comp work. It's just a matter of getting things set up for them. I think that this map will play into their favor, although the more measured approach of tower control might come back to bite them ever so slightly. We will see now. I think the opening is going to be very big. I think if it's a war of attrition, I don't think that Tentamissile Farmers Market will get the win. I don't think their comp is built for it. Although it looks like they've thrown a complete and total wrench in it here. This is a very different change, although we do still see the Roller in for Synapse. And Fletchling bringing out that Clash Blaster. There we go.
Interesting choice. I think it's perfectly fine, though.
I think so, too. I think on this map in particular, there are just a lot of angles that it can hit you where you say, that hit me? What?
And also that 2 Tensa standard ball point. I find that an interesting choice.
Can you, I mean, why do you think it would be gone for? Anytime someone says interesting choice, what they really mean is, that's not something that I probably would have done. So explain your line of thought here.
So the ball point can't really properly use jetpacks all that well as a backliner. It doesn't make very much sense for them to be aggressive with them. Cloud is just a much more beneficial special for the weapon because it uses super well with its range. And sub-weapons miss not bad per se, but beacons on a backline that's so mobile is just perfect.
That was a deadly accurate Stingray. I don't think any of those shots missed once they hit. And again, now Dog Joke on that ball point here. Gonna try to put a little pressure up on the raised area. I actually can kind of see why they might do it. Because keep in mind that a lot of this path is very, very close to the raised level. So using it then would give them an additional pressure option here.
That is true. I can definitely see that as an option. Still not my personal pick, but you know.
Sure, but
I can see it working.
Oh, that's one of the most enjoyable parts of commentating this game, right? Is trying to put together the puzzle of what it is they're looking for if it's truly a comfort pick. But back to the game, Shell, yeah, I think with a pretty solid defense there. That looked like it could have gotten ugly. But 61, as you can see, not even past that second checkpoint. And that second checkpoint really is the point of no return.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I do think, however, the first checkpoint is one of those important because against a solid defensive team, it is impossible to do there. They got a Ray ready. Clash Blaster, Fletchling coming in, countering their blaster. Ooh, yeah. I think Shelly's going to be able to get a decent push off. Well,
no. They had the pieces set up to make it happen, but
unfortunately,
I believe it was Synapse on that Roller was able to come back behind them, and you know, that's why we say the Roller is good here. There's just a lot of angles and just. Like, I love watching good rollers play because they find ways into the action that you wouldn't expect, right? They just find, like, the weirdest angle up this wall coming from this way, but the curling bomb is going that way. And that's really what Synapse did there. That was a pretty up and at you type of maneuver that he made, but it still worked.
Yeah, it's something to watch, to be sure. Questionable bubbles right there. But,
it is going to open things up for them, so those bubbles are still going to be in a position down there at the bottom where they can't really approach that way. You see the one still over here. Yeah, this is a good look. Can Midori do it? Midori's going to have to clutch it. That was a direct. That is going to be the lead and probably a whole lot more.
If they don't get their flat back, this might be over.
What killed?
That's a good question. What? Well, I guess we take those.
I guess so. Random Bomb got the job done there, but still doing a pretty good job of staying alive. And I don't know how Yankan actually was able to force a trade in that situation. Summerling going to go down there, does get a direct. It's going to force him to move back ever so slightly, but 32. That's generally a winning push on this map.
Absolutely. I don't think I don't see Tentamissile coming back from this one.
Well, let's kind of break down what they're going to have to get past. So, looking at it from just a very casual standpoint, 2 rays, right? They're going to have to get through 2 rays. Secondly, they're going to have to get through Bubbles and Torpedo, which are devastating in this passageway. And then lastly, a blaster, a range blaster.
Well, I think more importantly is the checkpoint placement here benefits all of those things very well. They can't run from Ray very well. Bubbles just kind of sit on down there, and Blaster's just, it's free real estate.
Free real estate, baby. Might even say prime real estate. Both Stingrays are almost at the ready. Just a couple more points here from this heavy Splatling. Both of them are ready now. And yeah, this is an early one here. And I'm not sure that I like this play. Jumping back here actually got both of those frontliners exposed and died pretty quick. Yeah. They do still have their last Stingray, and they can reliably use it, but I think this is still too early.
They needed to wait until overtime at least. I would have personally waited until the checkpoint even. Or at least until, you know, offense at the tower.
Yeah, neither one of them is going to be able to build those up here. I mean, you can see neither one of those too great at building them up. They're in good position to slow it down with their main weapons and will do exactly that. But that was some risky and scary play with those Stingrays.
Hey, man, they were making it entertaining.
They were. They were giving us something to talk about there at the end. So, Shell, yeah, little fist pump there. After we got through those DC issues, a 3-1, very competitive set, I would say.
Absolutely. It was quite a joy to watch once we got past the DCs.
So once we got to the game itself.
Actual game, yeah. Instead of Lobby Simulator, my favorite.
Don't even joke about that.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Marshall. Old Red Bar Marsh.
I don't...
It's what I called you in Mario Tennis Aces that one night, because we kept getting 1 bar connection and it turned red.
Classic Florida net. My net is, in fact, God tier. So powerful, in fact, I can DC whole lobbies without crashing the lobby.
Some would call that power. Some would call it